Hi, my name's Phil. I like to talk about politics. In this video, I'd like to discuss what France are doing to ensure that bailouts are only being given to businesses who really do deserve it, or at least deserve the help of the French state, and hope forlornly that we would do the same thing in the UK. But first, if you'd like to be notified of daily news and politics, then please subscribe to the channel and click the bell notification icon. So, in these unprecedented economic times, at least as far as modern times go, there are a lot of businesses that are at risk of crashing through no real fault of their own. They may be well-run businesses occupying a sensible gap in the market, whose customer base has just evaporated overnight purely because of the lockdown measures, with every reason to believe that when things return to normal, whenever that is and whatever that normal is, that they could be back up and trading again just as before. So the possibility of state bailouts raises its head. However, France has adopted a very encouraging policy to freeze out the arseholes who don't really benefit the French economy as they should. And although I say France, that is because it's their adoption of the policy that brought it to my attention. In reality, it seems to have been first put forward by Poland, and then Denmark adopted it as well. I mean, I see no reason why all countries should not do the same. Essentially, there are conditions for any bailouts that might be coming the way of businesses. I think France are putting up in excess of 100 billion euros. And as you would expect, there's going to be a few strings attached. But one condition is that if the company applying has its tax headquarters or subsidiaries in a tax haven, then they can save themselves the bother of filling in the application forms, because they will not be getting a single penny or cent, I suppose. And this is definitely something that we should adopt in Britain. The public would be right on side for it. We still remember, of course, the billions that disappeared down a black hole during and in the aftermath of the crash of 2008. As Al Murray kept screaming, "Where's the money?" Why on earth should even more billions of public money disappear into the same black hole just because the crisis this time is from natural causes? Of course, I know we are not going to adopt this. Granted, our governments haven't exactly been falling over themselves to bail out the billionaires yet. But when it happens, I can't see them excluding the tax avoiders. After all, there was a key reason for Brexit amongst many of the most influential supporters, and that was to avoid the anti-tax avoidance schemes that the EU was starting to implement. Now, that's not the only reason for Brexit, and there are others who added their other reasons, but that was one chief reason. And the Conservative government have shown time and again that they are quite happy to shovel British taxes out of the country where it cannot possibly feed back into the economy. But it doesn't stop at blocking companies who avoid tax from accessing state aid. My reading of the situation is that France will also not be paying any bailouts to any company that issues dividends. And that is also really important. Why should a company pay out dividends, which means profits? It's the share of the profits to shareholders. And then have the cheek to say that it doesn't have enough money to pay its bills. That's not how it works. Profit is supposed to be what you have left once you've taken your outgoings away from your income. You know, if that means there's not much profit left, so the dividend's a bit small, well, so be it. If there's no profit left at all for dividends, that's bad luck. And if you still can't cover the cost of your outgoings, then you have a potential claim for state aid. That's fine, but to pay dividends and then ask for a bailout is to ask the British taxpayer, many of whom are already on reduced wages or none at all, to pay so that the already wealthy don't have to take any income cut themselves. Now, this is why it is said in times of crisis like this, in times of economic crisis, that capitalists all of a sudden become socialists. And we've seen it, haven't we? The Conservative government, you know, the defenders of capitalism in the UK, are now adopting socialist measures in order to get us out of this. You know, they don't share anything when they're raking it in the good times, but want us to share with them when it's not so good. It's entirely one way. No, piss off. But good on Poland, Denmark and France and indeed any other countries who adopt this or have adopted it and I'm not aware of it, I'll just say that maybe, just maybe, the day will come when we wake up to this sort of unpatriotic behaviour that leads to actions like Brexit and funneling public money away from the public and towards dusty old tax havens, and finally put an end to it. But until then, I will not hold my breath. So I hope you found the video interesting. If you did, don't forget to click the like button. And if you'd like to support the channel further, then please also click the Patreon link for details. And until next time, I'll see you later.